What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Andy Stort Show. This is a show where we can come together to starve our fears, to follow our dreams, and to pursue fulfilling our true potential. And that is a mission that I am on all the time, to try to fulfill and live up to my true potential and inspire others to do the same thing. And sometimes that's taking a lot longer than I might like or want. And sometimes I feel like I'm moving fast. It changes, and I'm changing and doing things differently all the time. And, here's a perfect example. I am recording this live on Facebook right now. What's up, Ben? What's up, Klaus? What's up, Larry? My dad is on. And I used to do this a lot more, and I haven't done this in a long time. I don't think I've been live on Facebook in probably months. And I know some people that do this regularly, like Klaus, who is commenting there and doing a great job. Thank you, buddy. And I have some things on my mind. I want to talk about setting big goals, which I've talked about in the past, taking big shots, starving our fears, of course, and doing the hard work in the middle, the quote, messy middle. My dad is commenting from France. Hi, Dad. What's up, Ben? I think I talk a lot about setting big goals, going after big things, starving our fears, following our dreams. Sometimes we forget about all the work that has to happen in between, right? And some of you are maybe caught up in that work, in the details, mired in that. And I think I've learned that I'm more of a big picture thinker, if you will. I'm always thinking about all these things that I could do with my business, with my life. I love helping other people think about those things as well. Setting a vision, and I have a big vision for where I want to go with my life and my career, hosting conferences and speaking and coaching and helping others, thousands of people, big events, and traveling all over with my family. But I know the things that I can and should do to get there, but can often end up procrastinating on the actual work to do those things, because it's easy to come up with big ideas, things that we might be able to do. The first hard part that a lot of people don't do, and that I guess I've been known for doing, is to put it out there and say, I'm going to do it. And a perfect example is, I've not only have I launched a couple podcasts, including this one, but I'm also attempting to host my first conference later this year with my friend Bennett Phillips, the Talent Development Think Tank, that's going to be November 6th and 7th in Sonoma, California. Now, I've never hosted a conference before. Probably should have started with, maybe a smaller event, maybe a dinner or something somewhere, but decided to, put a stake in the ground. And just yesterday, I was interviewing a really awesome, well-known author named Michael Bungay-Stanier, who wrote The Coaching Habit. And he was talking about this idea he took from another author about firing bullets versus cannonballs. So firing bullets, these are those little things that you do all the time. And then the cannon is the big shot that you take. And a lot of people never take that big shot, right? They dream of doing big things. They think about starting a podcast or hosting an event or getting into coaching or starting a new career or moving to a new place or traveling somewhere. They think about doing all these things, but they never do it. Why? Because they're afraid, right? Fear is what holds us back from doing so many of the things that we might want to do in life, whether it's fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of success. A lot of people have fear of success. What if things go well? It'll change my life. I'll be different, and I won't be the regular person that I am now. I had a conversation with someone the other day, a good friend, who has that fear of success. He's doing really well. Things are building, and he's afraid of, if it goes too big, too fast, too far, that he won't be the same person. He won't be able to connect with all the same people. And so that's a legitimate fear, right? So fear often holds us back from putting the big thing out there. And I don't think anybody would blame me, right, if I said, oh, I dream of hosting a conference, but I'm not going to do that because that's a really big deal. It's a big undertaking. It's hard to do, and I'm probably not qualified, so I'm not going to do it. Luckily, I have friends and coaches, mentors, mastermind members who will push me on these things. And Bennett, my colleague, my friend, my partner, is one who definitely likes to push the envelope sometimes and says, let's try to host a conference. What's the big deal, right? We'll put it out there. And I realize that I am a lot more afraid of regret than I am of failure, right? When I really analyze fear and what's driving me in life and what I'm truly afraid of and not afraid of, I'm more afraid of fear. I'm more afraid of regret than failing. So what does that mean? That means that, I'm 39 years old, maybe hopefully a little bit less than halfway through my life. I'm afraid that when I get to the end, I'll see things that I could have or should have or wanted to do, and I didn't take the chance. I didn't do it because I was afraid, because I made excuses, because I had one reason or another that wasn't really that legitimate, right? That caused me to not take that chance. And I don't want to get there, right? I don't want to. I had Dominic Cortuccio on the podcast a while back, and he shared this. I don't think he made this up, but he says the definition of hell is reaching the end of your life and meeting the man or woman that you could have been if you had reached your true potential. So I want to meet that person and find that person as me, right? I want to achieve my true potential. So I don't want to live life with any regrets, which means I want to take those chances. So I'm willing to put it out there and risk failing, because what is failure anyway? Failure is really just feedback. So if I put this conference out there and I market it and tell a bunch of people and nobody comes, then that's feedback to me that either the timing was not right, my network wasn't as big as maybe I thought it wasn't actually a good idea, this is something that's not really that attractive to people, or maybe people just don't like me. I don't know. Hopefully I can get feedback if that doesn't happen. But I'm very optimistic and confident that we are going to make it happen. And let me tell you why. I've been to a lot of conferences. I love going to conferences. I've seen the power of conferences in allowing people to really connect with each other, to learn from each other, and to have those. What's up, Mill? Yeah, first attempt in learning. To have those lifelong connections. I've made so many great friendships at conferences. And I love connecting people. And so that's why I want to host this, because I want to bring people together. I want to be a connector. I want to help people learn and grow and accelerate their careers. And so I think it's an awesome opportunity. And I think we got a lot of feedback from people that it is something they would want to attend. So here's the thing. I put it out there. I'm willing to take that chance. I'm not that afraid of failure, because I want to make sure that I try to do the things that I want to do. The problem is, once it's out there, now it involves a lot of work, right? That's the work that's involved. My friend Ken Carfagno calls it, quote, the messy middle. We put these big dreams out there, things that we want to do, and then we forget, oh yeah, we have to go do the work. So I've been writing down for a while. I just finished reading The Miracle Equation by Hal Elrod. Great book. If you're not familiar with Hal Elrod, he's the author of The Miracle Morning, which changed my life 4 years ago. And many Miracle Morning books, and he just wrote this book, The Miracle Equation. And it's about achieving miracles, essentially huge goals that you didn't think were possible, because you have these two components: unwavering faith and extraordinary effort. So unwavering faith means you put it out there and you believe that you can do it. No matter what happens, you know that you can put it together. So I put this conference out there. It's a big thing. I know it's going to set me and Bennett apart in the industry, and I believe that we can do it. I have unwavering faith. But the second component, which is equally as important, is extraordinary effort. Are you putting extraordinary effort into achieving that goal? And that means consistently every day. That means right up until the last minute. And that means detaching yourself from the emotional ups and downs that happen along the way when you put it out to people and they say, no, I'm not going to come. No, I don't have the budget. No, I don't have the time. Sorry, I'm already busy. I've gotten a lot of those already. But then you keep going, keep going, and know it's going to pay off. So my problem is that I haven't put enough effort into that messy middle, that I keep saying, oh, I'm going to put forth extraordinary effort, and I'm going to reach out to 20 people, 25 people a day to invite them to this conference, and I haven't been doing it. My partner Bennett has been doing it. I've been posting some stuff on social media, but not even that much. I talk about it on my podcast. I don't even post about it a lot because I'm afraid of bugging people, which is just crazy, because I see other people post about stuff, about conferences they're running, events they're putting together, and I don't mind seeing that stuff over and over again. And the fact is that sometimes you put stuff out there, a lot of people don't see it because they're not always on when you're sharing it. So the fact that what I'm saying is, I realize that I'm not putting in enough of that extraordinary effort. And so I brought that to my friends, to my mastermind group, who really pushed me, say, hey, you've got to put in this consistent effort. It has to be your top priority. It is my mission right now, because I really want this conference to happen. I see so many great things that can happen on the other side of that. I have a vision for where everything is going to go. And again, vision is so important. We have to have that to kind of guide us. But if we don't do the work in the middle, then we're probably not going to get there, that extraordinary effort. So this is such an important concept. That book, Miracle Equation by Hal Elrod, highly recommend it. But the concept is right there. Unwavering faith, belief that you can and will achieve anything. And this, by the way, this means you have to believe in yourself and your own capabilities, which is hard to do for some people. We all have challenges. We have fears. We have imposter syndrome. I struggle with this sometimes, where I can see where things are going. I've got momentum. I'm getting interviewed on all these podcasts and people telling me great things. And in my mind, I'm like, what are they talking about? I'm just a regular guy who's learning from everyone else and trying stuff, right? So I deal with the same struggles, the same imposter syndrome, if you will, but I'm pushing past that. I do believe that I can achieve anything if I put my mind to it and if I put forth that extraordinary effort. And I know all of you, my friends that surround myself, people watching this, listening to this now, you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. Maybe not anything, right? There's no chance of you playing in the NBA, right? But if you have a big goal that's related to something you've been doing, you want to change careers, if you network with the right people, you make the right connections, you put the effort into it, you write stuff down, you study, you work hard, you can absolutely achieve that goal. And one of the great ways to get you there is networking and connecting, is going to conferences, which is why I go out there and I join groups. I go to conferences, I connect with people. I find people that are doing the things that I'm doing or doing the things that I want to do who are better than me. I follow them. I get inspired by them. And so I seen people that have organized conferences. Just last week, I went to the Growth Now Movement Live conference hosted by my friend Justin Shank, who's been on this podcast. If you haven't listened to his interview, highly recommend it. He's got a great story. And I actually interviewed him, and then he told me about the conference, and I was like, I need to go to that. And I bought a ticket. And the main reason was I could tell it was going to be a fun, great conference. I knew I would learn some things, connect with some great people. I also am a student of conferences and events now. I wanted to see how he ran it so that I can learn from that and then go out and run my own, and also show support for him by buying a ticket. I recruited two friends, Vincent Pugliese and Ken Carfagno, to go with me. So now I'm supporting him, and he's more willing to, help me out if I have questions about organizing events, because he's been through this and now I'm going through it. And so I'm getting all kinds of help. And that's another important aspect to achieving big goals, is being willing to ask for help. What's up, Jody? Being willing to ask for help, joining mastermind groups, hiring coaches, mentors, talking to friends, finding people who have done things before and asking them for the help that you need so I can ask you questions, they can coach you, they can give you advice. But then at the end of the day, it's what you do with the goals. It's what you do with that advice. Do you break them down into smaller things? And do you actually put in the work day by day by day? And so that's what I'm telling you right now, is that I have not been putting in enough of the work. I do get stuff done every day. I'm pretty productive, probably more than most people. But my time management has not been as good as it has been in the past. And I have not been sticking with that goal of reaching out to 25 people a day and asking them to attend this conference. And so I am committing to doing more of that, to continuing to having those conversations, to telling everybody about this. You're going to be hearing about this conference more from me, even though most of my friends on the personal side and listeners of this podcast are probably not in the talent development space, and you're probably not going to buy a ticket to this conference. Although if you want to, I would love to have you there. It's the Talent Development Think Tank, November 6th and 7th in Sonoma, California. And you can check it out. You can get tickets at talentdevelopmentthinktank.com. Tell your friends, if you know anyone in HR or talent development, tell them about it. We'd love to have them there. So I'm going to be talking about it a lot more on my podcast, on social media, and especially with people in my network. I'm on LinkedIn all day. I'm going to be talking to more people there, because this is my absolute mission, is to fill seats at this conference and make this happen, because I know what it can do for me and for my career. I know what it can do for the people that come to the conference and the connections that they can make and how it can help them in their life and their career. And so I am committed to going out and spending more time doing that and prioritizing that even over other things that I want to do. like go to the gym, which I wanted to go to this morning, but I didn't because I sat down and started sending messages instead, because this is just more important right now. We go in seasons and we have to prioritize and think about what are our priorities and where are we spending our time. And that's the last thing I'll leave you with. When you think about your big goals, when you think about your vision, when you think about the actions you need to take, you think about how you're setting up your time and the time management that you need, and you look at what you need to do and what your priorities are. Do your priorities match with your schedule? Does your big priorities match with how much time you're spending? You say you want to spend time with family, but you work 60 hours a week. I say that filling this conference is the most important thing to me, but then I go to the gym, right? And obviously, gym is important. Health and fitness are really important to me, but the conference is my top priority right now, so I need to make sure I'm putting in the work to that. So I say all of this. This is about me, but I hope that it causes you to think about you and your big goals and how you're prioritizing, where you are putting an effort, and how you could or should be spending your time. And if you have feedback, if you have questions, I'd love to hear from you. And again, my conference is Talent Development Think Tank, talentdevelopmentthinktank.com. Thank you so much for watching, for listening, and I hope you have an awesome day.